The following has been brought to you by SJP World Media.
You're listening to In the Corner with BenNny Mac. Unfiltered, uncensored, and unforgiving. Here's the man in the corner, BenNny Mac.
The two-night extravaganza is done. Wrestlemania, only one of the shows we've been talking about since pretty much January, is done and dusted. And even the Raw after WrestleMania is done and dusted as well. So on episode, what did I say this was? Episode 47 of In the Corner. Joining me from across the pond, my tag team partner, Mr. Tyler. How are you, sir?
BenNny, I am doing fantastic. We got a WrestleMania-sized episode. I can't wait to talk about it. And we've got a lot. Let me tell you, you just mentioned it. 2 nights of the grandest stage of them all where immortals are born. It's Mania season, and it's time to discuss it.
And we won't go 2 nights. We might go 2 hours, but we're not going to go 2 nights.
Yeah, we're not going to go 2 nights. Yeah, 2 hours. We may want to make sure we preference to everyone. We're only going to go probably a couple hours. I may have got so excited I thought we were going to go 2 nights.
Hell no.
Yeah,
I've got sleep to be had.
BenNny put a stop to that. He's in charge of creative, and he's like, Tyler, I appreciate the enthusiasm, the passion, but no means no. We're not doing that.
Yes. So. No always means no's, ladies and gents. WrestleMania weekend done and dusted. Raw. I've literally just finished watching it as we record. But weirdly, probably not the biggest news to come out of this weekend in terms of result. I mean, in terms of results and stuff. But Endeavor, UFC, WWE. I can't help but start the show with this because. What does this mean? I know, although we had Triple H come out on Raw and say nothing's going to change, basically, how long before Vince goes with that new mustache he's got and says, bye-bye, Papa H, I want control again. So I am genuinely... Triple H made me feel better by watching Raw, but is it just a thing of saying, yeah, it'll be fine? So I'm quite concerned about maybe the next 3-4 months of WWE, really.
Hey, it could be, Triple H. I think that's what it was. He was trying to make sure everybody was felt a sense of relief because of the big news, because he kind of alluded to the announcement. I did get to catch some clips and highlights as I talked to BenNny off air. I did not get to view Raw yet, but definitely you were hearing a lot of buzz about it, and rightfully so, and especially with Mania. But BenNny, for this Endeavor deal, I think, too, that Vince has always wanted to do this. We've always heard rumblings of even Shane wanting to have some kind of business agreement with the UFC even before Endeavor got a hold of it. So, and we've seen so much MMA crossover. I think it makes sense that Endeavor would buy WWE and have them and UFC under one roof, and you got 2 of the most recognizable brands. So as far as a business deal, this is huge. I mean, maybe people don't agree with it, and I know some of the talent may be uncertain. I think that's also the message we could take away from Triple H's opening promo as well. He was trying to reassure a lot of the men and women that, hey, it's still going to be the same then, now, and forever WWE, but definitely, things are going to be different and unique because of the Endeavor deal. I think he was respecting it. He was also saying just because Vince was making the deal that, hey, I'm still here. I think he's that conscious that helps us all, even though I do respect what Vince has done, his accomplishments. I mean, what do you think? I didn't mean to go so long-winded, but I was trying to kind of break down from his promo and hearing the news of Endeavor, actually, of WWE, let me go back, being sold to them, them buying World Wrestling Entertainment and having UFC and them together.
Do you know my biggest concern? Again, I sort of mirror your sentiments. Really, Vince did a lot for the business. WWF, especially WWE, has done a hell of a great job up to a point. I like the fact, or at least it seems like Triple H is in charge. We don't see him in front of the camera very often, which is quite nice. So it's more of a special moment when he does come out, like he did on Raw. He opened the show. introduce the undisputed champion and stuff like that. But my main, I'm not sure about the deal in terms of business. I guess why not? Like you said, the crossovers, maybe that would make it a lot more free to do those things, when needed and when the time's there, and maybe like Manias or SummerSlams, or maybe someone crosses over again, like a Brock or a Ronda, but maybe they come from UFC rather than WWE to UFC. Well, I mean, obviously Ronda came, from UFC to WWE, and Brock went and then came back. But, maybe there's some, crossovers that could happen easier now because of the relationship. But genuinely, Todd, I think I'm not going to sit here and pretend everything we've seen since Triple H taken over has been spot on. I think we touched upon that a few weeks ago. But generally,
we have.
But generally, it's been pretty good, hasn't it? Overall. So
it's been refreshing. I think he's doing a good job of pushing the women, or at least making baby steps. I'll give a credit to that statement to one of my fellow Wrestle Buddy guys that shared that post. He was like, everything can't be, a complete turn. It's got to start kind of in little steps. And he was right. I didn't even think of that analogy, and that he put it so wonderfully. So kudos to him. And I think that's a part of it, seeing Roman Reigns, a continuation, even if it's some of Vince's creative. Triple H has tried to respect that, or even modify it to the way he sees it and his team. Because let's not forget all the producers, the people that are over these matches. And I think it's really cool how they're revealing who's planning out the matches with the stars, and that's been very neat. And but Triple H has done wonders. I like that he brought Damage Control together. I thought at SummerSlam nobody expected it. We all were missing Bayley, and to see that it's Io Sky, Dakota Kai, even things like that, some NXT ties that you could see these people flourishing on the main roster, and Bayley believing, because she came from that same system, she was giving back in a sense. So, I mean, there's even those type of details that you just respect and can see Triple H or Shawn Michaels, their fingerprints all over it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if Vince and Triple H can, but I would like it maybe to a degree if Triple H could have maybe like final say. Vince can make suggestions and they can build up on the ideas together, because collaborating with anybody, I think I collab with you every now and again on this show, more, not all the time. I feel like the show is better when you're here, and I appreciate it. Not to do a suck fest over here, but or anything like that. But or a love fest is what I probably should have said. But I've said what I've said, and it's gone now. It's in the history books. But I just feel like most of it, there's been a few moments where it hasn't gone quite. I mean, Bray Wyatt comes to mind. There was obviously a lot of speculation.
That's a big one.
Yeah, there was a lot of speculation on whether he would be at Mania. Hasn't reappeared on Raw this week, so I don't know what's happening with that. Obviously, one of the other notable misses, I think I said it on the podcast last week, but I liked the tag team of Carmella. Nothing against Sonya Deville, sorry.
Yeah, me too.
But you know what? Though I said those two could be working as amazing as a tag team. But you know what? Stick Sonya Deville with them, almost like the muscle essentially for those two, the enforcer.
Yeah, I see that, because you think about her background, and to me, Deville is so criminally underrated. I mean, she's a great talent.
Yeah, 100%. But before we move on to WrestleMania, my biggest worry is that maybe everything that's been sort of laid out, and we're still moving forward after Raw, of what's going to happen next. Roman's still the champion. If you don't know that already, you probably shouldn't be listening to this show.
I acknowledge him. And BenNy, I don't know who you picked, if it was Cody or Roman. I don't know if we even did predictions. But I'll tell you, I had a feeling maybe Roman would become victorious. Not that I could see the writing on the wall. Trust me, if anybody thought, Cody was going to win, I would agree with them. I just had a feeling that, hey, listen, they're wanting to kind of make us think that the American Nightmare is going to walk out of SoFi Stadium, the new undisputed WWE Universal Champion, but not so fast, because the Tribal Chief has retained.
Yeah, do you know what? Because we weren't, I haven't actually written down. I know you picked, I think you picked Roman, and I think I did as well. But
okay,
as the match was unfolding, you could feel it's weird, isn't it? It's like when you watch a film, you can kind of feel like something's going to happen or this is going to happen. To say 100% that I knew at some point the Usos would be involved. I kind of called like the fact that Sammy and KO would get involved as well, but I did not. For some reason, in my own, I think they did a really good job actually. Because in my own head, I didn't think that Solo would come back out. I know we're jumping ahead here to the main event, but the way they did it was like, and I was genuinely like, oh, I'm not mad that Roman's retained. I'm disappointed that Cody couldn't. I'm not going to say couldn't get it done because, to be honest, he had to fight the Usos and then Solo Sikoa with a Samoan spike.
It's never a fair fight, and people were kind of speaking of a backlash against. Let's not have shenanigans, but it's not been the Bloodline's MO. So it wouldn't be a Roman victory. I mean. To me, to get that reaction, I don't know if you saw the viral video somebody shared of the fan. That's what it's about. It's about even swerving us thinking, hey, Cody, he's got to finish this story. But the story doesn't have to be finished at WrestleMania.
No,
I think Triple H pointed that out, in his press conference.
I think we both said that as well on the podcast over the build-up to WrestleMania, to be honest.
We did.
So,
we did.
I did say, I mean, I wasn't sure, but obviously, because I'm not going to pretend I knew that was going to happen. But as the match went on, you felt that Roman was going to walk out. But the way the fact that Solo got involved and did the Samoan spike, I was like, oh, what the fuck? Basically,
I thought it was clever because he got kicked out because he was interfering, and the fans kind of helped the official know, hey, listen, something doesn't quite seem right here. And for him to sneak back where he's wearing a hoodie, that was ingenious because the referee was either, did he take the bump then or was he just not paying attention?
No, he was trying to get rid of.
When he gave the spike,
it's actually Paul Heyman, because now I was saying to the
Heyman,
because I was actually saying to my other half, because she kind of watches it with me a little bit, but for Paul Heyman to get on the apron and to distract the referee, we rarely see that. How often does Heyman get involved? Yes, he shouts and screams and stuff at ringside, but for him to be on the apron, you kind of knew something was going down. It is very rare. But because he'd been kicked out, I think in my own mind I thought he isn't going to come back, but we've still got the Usos to contend with. And while all that shenanigans was going down, and then Paul Heyman, because Paul Heyman doesn't get involved regularly, if at all, for the fact that he was up on the apron distracting the ref, it's a collaborative effort to keep the title on Roman, isn't it?
It is. It's a team effort. I mean, that's a perfect way to describe it. Effort. I like how you put it there, BenNy. I mean, everybody's going to do whatever they have to, even if it's out of desperation, to make sure Roman Reigns is still holding both those belts.
Yeah. And as I said, you've said it as well. I'm sure a lot of it doesn't have to, but this now begs the question. I've said this a few times. Again, I've not been 100%, and I'm still not 100% now, but this is where the Money in the Bank briefcase now becomes interesting, because by all accounts, I mean, I could be wrong, they might change this, by all accounts on the Webosphere, Roman is not going to be, well, I don't even know if he's going to be at Backlash at the moment, to be honest with you. So
I'm not sure either.
Yeah, so I feel like the Money in the Bank briefcase is going to be the key to this. Now, again, we keep hearing this, don't we? And we keep hearing the fact that there may be a World Heavyweight title coming back, the big gold bout and all that kind of stuff.
We do.
I mean, if you're going to do that, then couldn't you... Well, maybe eventually we see one title again, so it's the WWE Championship again. And if they do... Because, again, I don't see much of a brand split, really, anymore. So, yes, you still have...
I don't either.
You still see... I said it on last week's show, but you have Gunther come out on Raw, but he has a SmackDown nameplate below him, as he enters the ring. So they're still pushing it like they are brand split, but there doesn't seem to be any. I know it's WrestleMania.
It doesn't feel like it because
it doesn't feel like it. That's a
maybe
good weapon.
Because of WrestleMania, like you said, BenNy. Because we're seeing so many stars. I think it's a case of these brands have to have star power. Maybe it could be the networks. It could be creative. Maybe they just decided, hey, we're not going to worry about a draft. Not that they're going to overdo it, but not just because of Mania. it may depend on the storyline. Because I did see the clip of Rhea coming out to and confronting Bianca, so that was very intriguing.
Well, that's interesting in itself because she is the SmackDown Women's Champion now, but she's been primarily on Raw with the rest of Judgment Day. So does that split Rhea from Dominic, or do they, separate? Again, this is what I mean. I don't know. I feel like we need an answer.
It's confusing, yeah, because even if it does make sense, you're like, well, wait a minute. There's still a part of me that goes, just like the Judgment Day scenario. How's that going to correlate? Because Dominic, him and Ray's obviously not done. There's unfinished business. I did see Damian Priest take out Bad Bunny. Obviously, Bad Bunny's going to get involved.
Well, I think Bad Bunny I don't know whether it was a kayfabe or not, but apparently Bad Bunny got hurt during that altercation, so hopefully it's just maybe a bit of a bruise, but I don't know how genuine it was. I don't know if it's genuine or whether it's part of like the story going forward,
It's working us a little bit. Yeah, you don't know the legitimacy. I hope for his sake he's healthy, but I'll tell you, this goes to show you, it may be entertainment, but what they have to do is very physical and very real. And Bad Bunny's one of those guys I've complimented, like Logan Paul, one of the celebrities that's respects the business and seems to take it seriously, and has been impressive too. We've gave a lot of accolades to Bad Bunny.
Just looking now online, I can't see anything. Obviously, he got put through the table by Priest and all that kind of stuff, but it's not showing. I can't see anything that says that he's genuinely hurt. So it's a good way of setting up possibly something to Backlash, because Damian Priest, obviously, I think he teamed with Bad Bunny, didn't he, in his initial WrestleMania
thing? He did. Yeah, it was the WrestleMania. I think it was back WrestleMania 37 where fans were allowed to come back after the pandemic. No, you're right. And they came in on like this semi, didn't they? It was a really cool entrance.
Yes, I remember that being involved. Whether they came in on it or whether it was something because nobody was expecting it to be a good match, and Bad Bunny just was really good.
He stole the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was like Logan Paul. I mean, both those guys. That's why it's hard not to mention one or the other. Yeah. But now that Damian Priest has aligned and been a big part of Judgment Day, and with Dominic now present, Dom, I like that, by the way. To see, Bad Bunny hit. Well, we're jumping ahead. I'm not meaning to. It's natural. So I better save it for when we talk about the actual match.
Well, let's get on to night one then. Let's see. I mean, straight away for me, night one, the first without looking at the list in front of me, the first match that I was like, boom, was actually the Fatal 4-Way men's tag team match, and it was the second match on the card, and it just absolutely I mean, I struggle with Fatal 4-Way tag team matches because you have two in the ring and everybody can tag each other. And I just feel
there's a lot going on.
I just feel like this was almost like a ladder match without the ladder. Kind of. Do you know what I mean? But it was a really good match.
That's a good scenario. I didn't put it together. That you just, I mean, it's essentially the same. You just don't have your prop, which is the ladder.
No props involved whatsoever. The first thing that comes to mind is Chad Gable German suplexing Braun Strowman and doing that roll.
I'm glad you said it because I was going to say it myself. Chad Gable, how strong is that guy?
Very strong, apparently, because, I mean, to almost deadlift Braun Strowman, at least that's what it seemed like, is insane. And this, again, I think, let's face it, I think on this show we are kind of Chad Gable fans, basically.
I got to admit, I am a mark for Chad Gable, I must admit.
I mean, there's a lot of talk, again, this was before WrestleMania. There was talk about possibly making Chad Gable a more of a singles competitor. I mean, we're still having that maximum male model thing. What's her name again?
We still have her involvement. Maxine Dupree.
Thank you, Maxine Dupree. I always forget her name. It's because of the maximum male models.
Well, I mean, we're still looking at her, but not that the name's not important. But how could you miss? Anyways, let's go back to the match.
Anyway, yes. I think we are kind of officially or unofficially like Chad Gable fans. So
we are.
Cheers, please.
Haven't used that for a while, so why not?
There you go. Hey, and it's perfect. Very appropriate. I love it.
Ricochet diving out the ring and nearly hitting the announce table, somehow managing to hold off. Just all of it was.
He stopped because Michael Cole said that. He's like, "Can you believe it?" Or I'm paraphrasing. He had stopped in midair to catch himself. I mean, that is so difficult to do. I would break every bone in my body, but this guy just makes it look effortless.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
I mean, that's the first match that comes to mind from night one. I don't know about yourself. I mean, was that your favorite from night one, or?
It's up there. I don't know if that it's my favorite. I'll tell you, my night one. I've got to give Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley a lot of credit.
That was a great match.
Because that match, that was a solid match and great. That's fitting. Just the way that the backstory of it, going back to WrestleMania 36 when they didn't have an audience, and for the stars to even be able to perform with it in itself. I just like how it seemed like Charlotte gave the nod. It was a passing of the torch moment. These women just have got chemistry. They've learned each other. They know the other so well. And Charlotte's had plenty of times as champion. It was nice to see Rhea have that moment because we both been very adamant, Benny, that it's Ripley's time. I mean, I feel like she was due. She was worthy, and but I do agree, man, that the men's showcase match, that 4-way tag team match, I must say I was happy with the Street Profits winning, Montez Ford, D'Angelo Dawkins, and that's another guy that can that flies from the heavens, just like Corey Graves says. I mean, this guy's just what an athlete in his military background. Yeah. Not a surprise. So I was happy. I know I'm jumping back and forth. Those two definitely were very good. And I will say the main event, it's hard not to say that one a thriller with KO and Sammy winning and taking out the Usos. So we did get the tag team champions losing, but it makes you wonder if they're not going to win it back even down the road, because you could do a lot of different scenarios with it. Like we've said multiple times, it's just so tough because I thought both nights were solid. A lot of people think, well, maybe not one was better, not two. I think both of them make a case because it just depended. You had a lot of different stories that were you would think would be a culmination, but actually it was just beginning or continuing. It wasn't necessarily that. It was really hard to dissect, but I was still just blown away. I thought it was very well done and executed, and I'm with you, man. That 4-way. When's the last time we've gave that much credit to a 4-way showcase match?
Exactly.
But I have to. I'd be remiss not to throw Rhea and Charlotte in the mix.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think if you're gonna, and there's nothing wrong with any of the matches. Some were better than others, obviously, but I think the top two. I mean, I got to throw Austin Theory, John Cena in there a little bit. It's the good open to the night, but in terms of enjoyment while watching the matches, Charlotte, Rhea, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team showcase with the Usos, not the Usos, sorry, the Alpha Academy and all that, Street Profits, the Viking Raiders, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, and then the main event was cool as well, with the whole, I mean, it made history because the longest reigning tag team champions have been defeated. So,
Yeah, what was it, past 622 and
something
counting,
like that.
something
to
that effect? Similar. I mean, that's how many days. It's crazy to ponder that Jimmy and Jay held those belts. Talk about having so much respect. Let me back up. Much respect to them. I'll say it again, to the Usos for carrying the belts and really the company for a long time in the tag team division, being part of the bloodline. But you just kind of felt that maybe it was Sammy and KO's time. I didn't even realize they started in California, even though they're both from Canada. Maybe the independent scene, obviously, is where a lot of them got their beginning in Reseda.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that backstory. So it made perfect sense. Then it started clicking for them to become tag team champions. And I thought it was cool. Ring of Honor posted a pic honoring their victory. I thought, hey, how neat was that to have Ring of Honor even acknowledge, knowing these guys, a lot of these stars had their beginnings there also.
It's good, yeah. I'm going to talk about it. Neither one of us got the right pick, though, in terms of the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. I think you went with Alpha and I went with Viking Raiders because I just felt maybe the Viking Raiders could start off, and have a good, start having a good run maybe. But,
Correct.
but I think every team, just even though the Street Profits won, and I think they were the right team to win as well. I mean, I think I even said on the podcast, like, we've said this and this, but I think we probably both realise that possibly the Street Profits are going to win. But I think every team, I would definitely say Alpha Academy and Street Profits. I mean, nothing against Viking Raiders. If you were going to pick the top two teams in that, I think you got to go with Street Profits and Alpha Academy, to be honest, and that's no disrespect to the others.
No, you do. Those are the two I think that have just got so much momentum and star power with Gable, and Otis works so well with Chad as well. And, of course, you got Dawkins and Ford. I like that combination. And, hey, how can we not talk about Braun getting taken out by D'Angelo Dawkins? That was another
that was cool.
spot. No, nobody expected that.
Oh, that was awesome.
Dominates, and then here, boom, Dawkins goes, hey, I also can do this.
That was cool. I'm not going to lie. I mean, do you know what? Having Titus O'Neil on the commentary as well at the time was actually really good. I wouldn't mind Titus a bit more on commentary occasionally. So
no, Titus brought a energy. I liked how he wasn't going to cuss. What was it? He was calling sugar and tea or something. He wasn't going to say it. I mean,
sugar, honey, iced tea.
Though.
There
it is.
Is that
sugar,
right?
Honey, iced tea. I can't hardly talk. I'm laughing, but it's like when Booker T does the duck thing. What is it? Quacky, quacky, or something?
Yeah,
Where's
quacky,
Steve-O
quacky,
when
shuck,
you need him?
Shuck, quacky, quack, or whatever. Yeah. Holy sugar,
Whatever
honey, iced tea. Yeah. I love that. I was good. I should have captioned that.
Too. I'm gonna have to remember that when I need to refrain from using any language.
It was cool.
Yeah, just get some iced tea.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul was going to be like really up there. It was good, but in my head at least, I'm not saying the match was bad by any stretch, but in my head it didn't live up to in my own hype in my head, if that makes sense. So I don't think
it does.
Seth's outfit confused me. Did he wash a red sock with that uniform? I don't know.
Seth Rollins, I never worry about his outfits because I'm thinking, did he get on the drugs somehow? With all due respect to Seth, I'm starting to wonder. But it definitely, you were mesmerized, even if it was negatively or positively or somewhat indifferent in between those two factors. I will say I get it because I think we build up our hopes so much going into the matches with Seth and Logan. To be fair, I was going to say honest that would work too. And then I didn't even know who the guy was that dressed up in the drink mascot outfit. I reckon he was a boxer. I don't really follow Logan Paul outside of WWE, so this was new for me. I mean, it was kind of a clever deal, but then it was like, I could have done without it, to be fair, but I get why it was involved in the matchup. And, I was glad Seth won because he needed this win. And he still he's been adamant, according to the rumors, that he wants to challenge Roman. He wants to be back in that main event picture. I think Seth is like any of them. He's still hungry. He's accomplished so much, but he would love the main event WrestleMania and some of the bigger shows like it again. And I believe he will.
I mean, if they do bring back that World Heavyweight Championship, I think that belt would look good around the waist of Seth Rollins, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie.
No, I think Seth makes a great champion. I must admit, Benny, I'm not as crazy about him laughing all the time. You got to have personality. I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but I kind of miss Seth how he was. I know everybody's got involved, and maybe that's me not having enough patience, being too critical, maybe overanalyzing. I just kind of miss the way Seth Rollins, when he was getting out of the Shield, he had the blonde highlights. Even without the blonde highlights, he just meant business, even though he could show a different side, which shows his talent, his versatility. There's something about the older Seth that I miss in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I get that to a degree. I get, but yeah, the match didn't live up to the hype in my own head. Basically, KSI was in the Prime bottle. My oldest drinks Prime. She likes. They're blimmin' obsessed with it over here, mate. I don't know what it's like over there for yourself. But,
I've never tried it. I'll have to try some. I know it's over here, but believe it or not, between coffee, water, and occasional diet drink, I have not tried Prime.
I had my first sip literally yesterday, and it's a tropical one. Yeah, okay. it doesn't. Whatever. There's so many flavors.
It's a lot of hype. Speaking of hype, you think Prime has hyped us too much?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I do like the fact that KSI did get Frog Splash by Logan Paul. So, crush that bottle of Prime, recycle it, and crack on.
Yeah, Logan Paul was helping the planet with his environmental cause, thanks to taking out his friend. I thought it was pretty comical that, they thought they had this plan where Seth was going to go through the table and Seth pulls Logan's friend onto the broadcast booth. What is it about the Spanish announce table? Michael Cole even referenced it. He's like, man, we shouldn't be surprised that another table is going to be destroyed, and it happens to be the Spanish announce broadcast team.
It's just been a thing, hasn't it, in WWE for decades now?
Yeah,
it's just,
I mean, when Michael Cole even alludes to it, it's kind of tongue in cheek. It's actually funny. I had a smile. I was laughing. I was like, that is true, though. I mean, it's going to get destroyed.
I think the Spanish announce table needs to go in the Hall of Fame at some point, to be honest. The amount of people that have gone through it over the years and stuff. So you maybe I don't know if you can.
Yeah,
let's
make a wing of the Hall of Fame for the
furniture.
tables that Mankind's been through. The Undertaker, Hell in the Cell. I mean, heck, just put Hell in the Cell in it. The Spanish announce table, the regular broadcast booth or table, however you want to say it or describe it. I think they could make several wings of the Hall of Fame, but that would be kind of neat. I mean, instead of having people always in one part of Hall of Fame, just do the big structures, like the blue cage, the big blue cage back in the early Mania days or something. Let's have all the different eras represented. That's not a bad idea.
Tell you what, we'll make it In the Corner Hall of Fame, and we're going to put the first entrant into the In the Corner Hall of Fame is going to be the Spanish announce table. So yeah,
I agree. I mean, it's hard to beat what that table has to go through, or tables. Let me make it plural. Let me do the Dudleys. Get the tables, because man, they would be proud of that. So I was thinking of Devon and Bubba Ray, because I always loved that. You always knew there was going to be some carnage happening when he said, Devon, get the tables. There's something about that I enjoyed, and it made me think about it because we're talking about it.
It's weird how we've gone into a conversation about a Spanish announce table. There we are.
I know. You never know what kind of discussions we're going to have on In the Corner, folks, but there you go.
So John Cena, Austin Theory opened the night, United States Championship match. I like the opening to this. The crowd responded really well to Cena. Obviously, the Make-A-Wish kids, that's always cool to see. But the fact
it was a nice touch.
But we have Theory biting John Cena through this match. Is he teething? What's going on?
I thought he was Mike Tyson for a minute. No, Austin Theory was. I thought it was, different, but not bad, because I think Cena made him so enraged. I mean, here was a guy that was a hero to him, and after that promo, and then Theory had a great promo where it was just an empty arena, on Raw a couple weeks before. Or prior, per se. And that man, Cena did the shoulder tackles. He did the textbook Cena offense, which I thought was fantastic. And then I was glad to see Theory win. I felt like Theory had to go over because, to me, Cena's got nothing to lose, even though he did lose. To me, he was given back to Theory. I mean, this was going to be the next generation, the next megastar. And for Cena to, reward him, because everybody thinks, oh, he lost. But little do we know that's actually elevating somebody. Just doesn't have to be in a win. It can be in defeat, and that's what I took away from it. I thought it was a solid match, a good opener. I was kind of glad it opened up the show because you had so much to unravel here. You had to leave something for the main event in the middle of the card. So I was happy with it.
It's going to be interesting to see whether we have a rematch at some point because of the way it went down, or is that it? So it'd be interesting to see what goes on.
You never know.
This week on Raw, Theory actually ended up having an impromptu match against Rey Mysterio, thanks to.
I did see where him and Rey were having a match, which I think is pretty neat.
Yeah, it was it was only a short one, but Dominic, and this is where the whole Bad Bunny thing happened as well. So Dominic got involved and a bit of a distraction, and then Theory hit the A-Town down, and then that was it. So, but then obviously Dominic got in and started beating down his dad. I'm kind of jumped ahead there a bit, but
Dominic was not happy, and we'll get to it. But after what happened in Mania, we're going to divulge in it. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. Do you know what? I mean, what a weekend for Mysterio. First off, I love the fact that he had the LWO T-shirts handed out. I love that. I thought it was amazing. I'm kind of hoping that Legado del
nice throwback.
I'm kind of hoping Legado del Fantasma actually adopts it and starts and they become the new, Latino World Order. But
they might as well, because it really just got started in WCW, and we saw little shades of it. But this would be neat to see a newer version with those.
Yeah, like a new generation type thing. It'd be really good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up for that. I mean, I never really saw it in WCW, so I didn't watch WCW, not really. So I'm aware of it, like same as I'm aware of like the BWO and ECW. So, but
sure. I mean, you've at least heard of it. No, I'm with you. I think it would be cool. I like Legado del Fantasma being a new LWO and helping out Mysterio. But yeah, we'll discuss it, because I think we had the Battle of the Mysterios, a newly crowned Hall of Famer, and Prison Dom in action.
Baby Prison Dom. It was a good match, actually. There were some really good moments.
There was. One of my favorite moments was instead of taking him to the woodshed, Ray took him to the turnbuckle with the belt.
Yes,
everybody was loving it. That was clever.
That was funny, actually. I'm not going to. And obviously, it all plays into what's been happening. There is that moment where they do that reverse like powerbomb thing where Ray's head hit off the bottom turnbuckle. And I was like, watching it, I was, oh my gosh. But to be fair,
it made you cringe.
Yeah, father and son facing each other at WrestleMania. Not that it's probably not the first time this ever happened, because we've had Shane and Vince, but it was good. It was really, I would say, it probably surpassed the Street Fight at WrestleMania 17. But I enjoyed it, mate. And Ray getting the W, I think was the right thing, really.
It was well laid out. As much as I'd like to see Dom, because I've came to appreciate the Hills more, and he's done a fantastic job. We praise him a lot on here, and this has definitely elevated him. Like they were saying on the kickoff show, that's where I give them the credit. Booker T and Wade Barrett were talking and discussing how much Dominic in 20 years is going to be a megastar if he's not before then. And this accomplished that. And, Rey Mysterio, just the nuances, throwing the drink in his sister's face. I mean, wow. Talk about crossing the line, having his mom slap him, and then, Bad Bunny getting involved. The chain that Damian Priest gave him, and then, Bad Bunny taken away was something I didn't see happening just because he was at the Spanish broadcast table. So that was a nice touch. Didn't expect it. And, how about the entrances? I mean, Snoop Dogg driving in Ray with Eddie Guerrero's music was just hit all the feels. I almost got emotional. That was just terrific.
No, I agree, 100%. When Viva La Raza came on, the whole crowd popped big time.
Oh my!
There aren't many, I still to this day, man, I miss that guy in the ring, honestly, Eddie Guerrero. But I love the little homage to it. It was brilliant.
Oh, we all just deeply miss Eddie Guerrero. I mean, it would be awesome to see how you can involve him between Ray and Dominic. I mean, think about the what ifs if he were alive today and he had to be smiling down at these guys. I mean,
maybe Judgment Day wouldn't exist, and maybe Eddie finally sort of gets one up on Ray. I don't know, but because the way it all panned out. I mean, in terms of Dominic, something I said on last week's show, wouldn't it be? Because he keeps referring him, he's not keeps doing it, but he's referred to himself like Eddie, wish Eddie was his dad and all that kind of stuff. And I said it on last week's show, but
yeah, he did.
Wouldn't it be? Sorry, go on.
No, I was just pardon me. I was just going to say it would be brilliant because the way he's growing his hair out, the way he's looking, even though he does look like Ray, you could still see where he could pass as Eddie's son. Going back to what was it? It was a ladder match where. You can remind me and help me out, Benny, where Dominic was involved. Was it the custody?
Yes,
Dominic
it was.
Mysterio?
Yes, it was. Crikey, 2004.
It's been a long time. Yeah, it's been going back to the early 2000s. They could even revisit a scenario such as that one because you really think about it, or do something similar if Eddie were alive. I mean, you think about a lot of the possibilities. So. Yeah, that's all I was going to insert there.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the drink that he threw in his sister's face. When I saw her front row, I was like, oh, that drink's going to be used for something. But I actually thought he was going to come over and start yelling at his mum again, and the sister was going to throw the drink in his face, which I would have loved to have seen more, to be honest with you, not the other way around. But, that's how it panned out. But I was going to say, I said it on last week's show, but Dominic's that sniveling little weasel at the moment that doesn't get, so he hasn't had any not big wins or anything yet. But wouldn't it be funny? I'm like Eddie now, dresses even more like Eddie, but brings out the European title and has it around his waist with Rhea Ripley with a flower. And do you know what I mean? That whole vibe going on.
China was
yes, the Mamacita era. And at first I said,
Mamacita.
And at first I figured, how could you do that without Dominic? So yeah, he could come out with it, and then maybe he has it on him for a couple of, maybe a month or two, and he keeps calling himself the European champion, and then eventually someone gets tired of it and challenges him for the European title, bit like the FTW battle. I think I said this on last week's show, but I think that's that's probably a good way where you could actually bring back the European title with Dominic trying to emulate Eddie again, but also bring it back as almost when the person gets fed up with him being the European champion, takes it off him. So it could be like another bout, basically, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it would be fun. I mean, you could, honor some older creative that was successful with the new creative that's equally successful also, or as well. I would like to see it. I think, man, he's got so much heat that the fans are reacting to him in such a way that, any good established heel yearns for, desires. And Dominic has achieved this and more. And we know it's not over. We discussed what transpired on Raw already. So this match set it up. And I liked it, man. I didn't think months ago. It's amazing to go back, and would I be saying or compliment Dominic so well? I could see the talent, second generation, but I think, especially as a villain, I would have said no. But that, time fixes all things, at least most of the time, and that's a prime example.
Yeah, just how we haven't kind of done the matches in order. We've just bounced back and forward to the stuff we've liked, what we remember. But obviously, we have to mention Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish taking on Damage Control.
We must. Yeah,
a lot of speculation going in. Some from yourself as well, but about possibly a Trish Stratus turn. That could still happen, I think, because they have a backstage interview on Raw.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
But you know what? I don't hate the idea. If that is going to be the case, Becky versus Trish possibly, or maybe a Lita Trish turn on Becky. I don't know. It's just what I think. Trish being a heel again is a good idea, personally. Whether I think a lot of fans would buy her as that heel. You could even go the other way. Becky turns on Trish. So either way, I think that could work,
I think it could definitely work. I think Trish has been so good as just coming back, assisting Lita and Becky Lynch that, we thought we were going to get Sasha and Trish there for a long time, but now with Sasha not in WWE, that's not going to happen, apparently, at least now. There's always a chance down the road in the future regarding it. But I will say a Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus match, I'm for it. I think she's still got time to turn on Becky. It could be where Lita and Becky have to take on Trish and another partner. Maybe Bayley teasing that she's going away. Maybe she comes back, and if you do it in that sense or vein, it could be Bayley teaming up with Trish Stratus. Yeah, it would be Trish. I almost thought I was going to mess up there, but I was glad I still had her name in mind. And then or you could do where it would be Lita and Trish turning on Becky Lynch. And there's a lot of directions one could propose here. And it's very fascinating. I think Trish would make a fantastic heel. She's proved she can do it before, and why not now? It's been long overdue, I think. I think it not only do wrestlers need to go away, sometimes their characters do as well. And I think that we've had enough time to miss it. So I think it would be good timing.
Yeah, definitely. The outfit she wore at Mania was very reminiscent of, well, it was, wasn't it? It was almost a carbon copy of WrestleMania 21. I think they even brought attention to it, actually, to be honest. Yeah. Whatever happens going forward, this is, like I said, at the top of the show here, we talked about the fact that WWE's merged with UFC. My only concern is that the creative takes a hit and it goes almost back like it was maybe in about 2014, 2015. It was quite bad, wasn't it? It wasn't good. And Obviously, we brought it back.
It was unique. It was a different time, certainly,
of course, yeah.
back in 2014 and 15, like you mentioned, BenNy. And I will say, we got to show some love to Damage Control. Dakota Kai, to me, with all due respect to even Bayley and Io Sky, there's a reason she was brought back. And the more and more I see her, even on the main roster, whether it was NXT, I mean, let's show a lot of respect and compliment. Pardon me, what Dakota Kai has brought to the table. She's delivered.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Damage Control, quickly, they lost the number one contenders match, which I thought they must have had a rematch clause at least. But anyway, so we've got Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan taking on Becky and Lita, next week for the women's tag team titles. Maybe this is the open for Bayley to like have a pop at them, and they go, "Well, do you know what? We're done with you." And maybe that's where the Trish could be like the new, not Damage Control, but could be lead Io and maybe Dakota for a couple of months and be like their mentor a little bit, or maybe even Trish. I don't know, maybe not women's champion, but definitely I think that could be a thing. I think because you speculated on maybe Trish sort of reforms Damage Control, but she's the head of it rather than Bayley. So there's so many forks in the road, branches this could go. So it'd be interesting to see how it pans out.
It's hard to know, like you're saying. Trish would make a great mentor and leader, just like Bayley has for both these ladies. And maybe does Bayley take time off? That tweet was kind of cryptic. We don't know if that was part of a storyline or if there was a real chance or opportunity of some absence, maybe time off. I mean, I would think she's going to be with WWE for a long time. I don't know her contract situation. I don't want to get in the weeds there. We all know how close she is, of course, with Sasha. And, Sasha's doing her thing in New Japan and doing it well. No matter if you're a fan of hers or not, you can't deny the talent and the star power and quality she possesses. When referencing Banks, we know Naomi, part of me, is obviously finished up with WWE, because when somebody asked her, she was pretty honest with them. Like, no, I'm finished up there. I'm paraphrasing. I want to clarify, not word for word, but in a sense. So I don't know. There's a lot to be desired with Trish. With Damage Control, or not calling it even DC, calling it something totally different. I mean, she could reform it and have to be under a new moniker just because you had Bayley in that role. Why not maybe even do something creatively different because you got Trish? If that happens, I'll tell you, I wouldn't mind to see Lita go heel a little bit, and join Trish. But then kind of where does that leave Becky, though? That's the only thing.
Yeah.
If you got too many turning villain, you're afraid. Well, you're kind of overdoing it a little bit because you've still got Becky. She's still got to have at least a partner. So maybe it's better if Trish just does it.
Yeah. For me, I think it's if this is true, obviously it's all speculation. It's all speculation till it happens, isn't it, Tyler? Basically, but
it is. I mean, we could go through all the ways we occur, and it may not ever turn out that way. But that's the cool thing about doing these kind of shows. We're all just kind of fantasy booking. I mean, we have no idea. I mean, we're just trying to throw out possible suggestions.
Yeah, definitely.
At least from fans' perspectives. Not saying we're throwing away Triple H. You need to do this. No, that's not what we're meaning. That would be stupid, silly. We're just having fun with this stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to say quickly. For me, I think if you're going to turn somebody heel, I think Trish is the more natural for me. I mean, I know Lita has been, but Trish, I think, just nailed it when she was a heel before. So.
Oh, she was great. I mean, I think back when what was it, Triple H and Stephanie, and that's when they were, Triple H was caught in the locker room. I never will forget it. I think it was Trish, and he was helping her stretch, and it didn't look good. Yeah, and then of course her and Vince. So of course she had to be kind of a heel there because Mr. McMahon has always been pretty much a heel. So, I mean, she was great, other than just being paired with high-profile people, because she's high-profile herself. I mean, she is proven, man. She's compatible with anyone, and she's in the position for a reason that she's in, because she's that great. I mean, not just good. Trish has proven herself since I think she debuted back in the early 2000s. So it seems like she should have been around back in the late 90s, but I forgot. No, she didn't really join the company till late, not late, but early 2000s.
Yeah. I just feel like she's the type of person that will be almost like a Shawn Michaels, will be, I want the spotlight on me at some point. So again, if she's there around long enough, by the looks of it, she was on Raw at least. Backlash is in Puerto Rico. Is she going to be there? Again, we'll find all this out hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
We will.
Night 2 of WrestleMania. I didn't actually get to watch it until Monday because of just work and everything. Obviously, it's on late over here in the UK, but I managed to avoid any spoilers. I managed to avoid social media. I apologise if anybody messaged me, anybody that's wrestling fans, much like yourself, Tyler. If you messaged me, I was very cautious of opening messages from people.
I can't blame you. I did not, and I didn't even put 2 and 2 together there, BenNy. And I can't say that I blame you. I'll just go back to that, because a lot of times things get spoiled so easily when you do open up messages, or read anything online. So it, because I always like surprises myself.
Yeah, definitely. We had the Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Yeah, it was okay.
And it was not as good as the men's, and normally we give a lot of praise to the women.
Absolutely,
it wasn't that the talent.
Again,
I struggle
with these. I struggle with these fatal 4-way tag team matches, mate. I did say this, I think off air, and I think I may have said it already, but on the actual show. But I struggle with these anyway. So the fact that the men's blew me away, I was like, okay, cool. And also, so I had high hopes for this one, but it just didn't quite deliver. I mean, Ronda and Shayna won, so which kind of begs the question: why on Raw that did Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez get a number one contenders match if they're the ones that didn't actually win the match at WrestleMania, so wins and losses should mean something.
Okay. And it makes you think, because Liv and Raquel, which I'm happy with the result, but you're thinking, well, what's going to happen with Rousey and Shayna, because they actually were the winners in this women's showcase fatal 4-way. A lot of talent involved. I just felt like any more Ronda's matches have to be cut short, because this match felt like it was very, short as far as time and given. I mean, there was plenty that was going on, that was happening. Don't get me wrong, but it just, I don't know. I guess it's the way Ronda has to work, and Shayna anymore with Ronda as a tag team partner, because they let Liv do her normal kind of creative offense like Shotzi does. They're kind of similar in that regard. Sonya and Chelsea got some spots, and definitely Natalya with the double sharpshooter. That was a great spot. I was happy for her, and of course Raquel got to show off her power, and I like the combination of her and Morgan. So I'm happy that on Raw they got to get this title shot at Lynch and Lita. But I guess we'll find out on SmackDown, because that's been one of the rare things. They have kept Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler on Friday nights, so I guess that's where we'll find out our answers to them winning. I would think they're going to have to come out, because you're right. There's been so many on Raw and SmackDown. You kind of wonder whether there have been the rare instances that they have had, certain personalities on one show or the other. And that's what I will say, that we've only saw the rowdy one, Ronda Rousey and Baszler on SmackDown so far.
That's where they seem to be. So, I guess is where I get confused with the whole brand split stuff. So, that's what we already talked about that. So, we won't go down that canal again.
I'm still scratching my head. I didn't mean to rehash it. It just you just can't help but go there, because you're trying to put all these points tied to make sure there's a commonality, and you're still scratching your head. I don't know.
Bianca Belair versus Asuka actually was a good match, to be honest. I enjoyed this. It was actually because I didn't have much hype for this, because I felt like they didn't really push it overly. No, they didn't seem to, did they? So, although I did think maybe Asuka was going to win this, I think you went with Bianca Belair, so you got that one right, definitely. But
Yeah, I had Bianca. I just felt like Asuka, even though any good match is going to make you feel like, hey, Asuka, this is her moment. I saw Bianca carrying the title. I think they've really built a lot of equity in her, and rightfully so. No disrespect or disregard for Asuka. I've got nothing but admiration for what she's done and given to the industry. I just think Bianca's still got she's still new in a sense. I mean, even though she's been established on the roster, she's not that new. I just feel like, as far as a champion, I guess is what I'm meaning, that she's still got a lot of this title reign left, and she's the one that's carrying the ball right now. And they did a good job because Asuka, was doing, was using that strength, and I thought they told a good story. It was a lot better of a match than I thought, because we all know how Asuka and Charlotte, we knew it wasn't going to be that, with all due respect to Bianca, because each of these ladies have their own style.
Yeah, of course. The mist, as if that's easy for me to say.
Yeah, try to say that 20 times fast.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But no, you were correct. I mean, that's what transpired. The mist, hit the referee, didn't it?
I think it was more of a like, oh, what's going on? So because the KOD followed in, and that was it basically. But it was a good match. I enjoyed it, to be honest. But I will say I thought Asuka was going to win it, and obviously she didn't. And again, Bianca Belair possibly, and I do like the confrontation between Rhea and Bianca Belair on Raw. That was cool. I mean, I speculated maybe if this brand split stuff isn't going to stay the way it is, which it doesn't seem like it is, are they going to unify the women's, championships? They've definitely teased a match between these two, for whether that's Backlash or whether this will be revisited in a year's time, or who knows? Maybe let's see what kind of year Rhea has and how long she has that SmackDown Women's Championship. How much longer can Bianca Belair? Because she won it at WrestleMania last year. She's still got it now. Money in the Bank is around the corner. There's a lot that could change in the next 3-4 months.
Yeah, you never know how long term it's going to be. You're so correct, Benny. I think Rhea and Bianca both have to carry the belts for a long, significant amount of time. I'll just add that word to it because, I mean, they've just got so much momentum. I think they're the future, obviously, evidently. I mean, these are the two you need to go with.
Yeah, I think you're right, to be honest. As much as I love to have seen Asuka get her WrestleMania moment finally, she didn't quite get it, unfortunately. Hopefully she will next year.
Hope she does, because I'm a big fan of, and especially even this darker, kind of edgier version of Asuka. I'm actually surprised that I'm enjoying it as much, because I was very critical on Bray Wyatt. I know all those Bray Wyatt fans are coming after me, not really, but they're saying, well, why didn't you have that same? But, Bray, it's just been a different year, and he wasn't even on the card. So,
yeah, it's interesting to see where that goes. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll find out what we can for next week's show, and we'll be talking, maybe a bit of Bray Wyatt with maybe some Randy Orton, because I'm still waiting for him to return as well. But
yeah, I'm intrigued to see if we get the Apex Predator back. I hope to see Orton soon.
Yeah, I mean, Riddle returned this week on Raw. I think there was actually a Randy chant thinking that maybe Randy was going to come out as well, but that didn't happen. Brock Lesnar versus Omos pretty much did what I thought it was going to do, to be honest, Tyler. And that was, let's see Lesnar throw a big guy around and let's see an F5, because my oldest was like, oh, can he lift him? I said, Brock Lesnar lifted Big Show and he was 7 foot something, and he was, I think, 500 pounds at the time. So
he was heavier than Omos.
Exactly. So my logic was, yes, he can. And again, we've been around, I've been watching it since 2000, so 23 years. So we kind of knew how this was going to go. I didn't hate it. And it went, I think, just the right amount of time. So it wasn't too long.
It didn't need to go long, yeah.
No,
because we couldn't have got that. Even Brock don't go as lengthy anymore. And with Omos, I think he's still limited. I think he's showed a lot more. I mean, with a big guy's moveset, I mean, he's definitely got to work more like a giant. So it even limits what kind of match they can do. But I give him a lot of credit. Hey, Brock sold great for him. I mean, he really made Omos, because Omos was dominating the Beast early on. But to see Brock finally get the suplexes, the Germans take him to Suplex City, and then, like you said, Benny, F5 him, pick him up. That was great. And I like how they built it up. They didn't they didn't give it away right off the bat. It took a while for Brock to finally, even though it was a short match, he was still allowing it enough allotted time before he was able to do that and perform it. But anybody should not doubt the relentless power of Brock Lesnar. Come on.
Omos was in action on Raw. He beat Elias fairly quickly. I think, again, like you just said, he's somewhat limited in what he can do at the moment. He is getting better, and I think the presentation of him is better. So I think, obviously, if you count, Raw from Monday is almost like the opening, the new season of WWE. Where's Omos going to be by SummerSlam? Maybe we'll look back at keep an eye Omos watch to see how well he's doing. Maybe I don't know, but.
We need to do that. And to be fair, it takes time. A lot of these guys, that's why I'm understanding the term green when a lot of these wrestlers first break into the scene. And it's also been a benefit for him to have MVP as a mouthpiece and somebody that can mentor him and really give him advice. Because MVP's a talented star in his own right. And now as a manager or however you want to describe him nowadays, has been beneficial to the big man, to the Nigerian giant. So it will be very compelling to see the progress that that this guy 7'3", over 400 and some odd pounds, how he's going to do. I think he's going to be definitely successful, or they wouldn't be putting him in a match with Lesnar and then having him squash people. I mean, they see a lot of potential apparently in him. That's why we've seen him a lot on TV. So
yeah,
that answers that.
I still maintain we didn't need that Braun Omos match at Crown Jewel. We didn't need that. I think you should have kept those two apart. Personally, that could have been once Omos is up to par and the developments happened, and Omos versus Braun could have been quite a good match to have. Maybe not a WrestleMania by any stretch, but like a Survivor Series thing or something. Or do you know what I mean? It could have been.
Just kind of keep them apart to where you could people would have desired that match
at some
over
point
here. But I think the thing is, BenNy, we forget that, not necessarily forget. I'll back up and correct myself, doing my own editing there. Is that with Saudi Arabia, it's always going to be different because they probably wanted that kind of match.
Yeah, of course. I think we discussed it at the time, so I'm aware of. I think we're pretty much aware of why.
Yeah, we did. I know it's a little bit of revisionist history, but I tend to forget even recording these episodes what I said, so you'll have to forgive me.
Edge versus Finn Balor. Inadvertent color, maybe.
I don't know. It was scary. I mean, Russell Crowe was narrating. I guess there was going to be some different things going down, but that looked awful. The picture, my goodness,
it's the
Finn Balor. If you've not seen it,
I think
talk about a scary movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see, Finn Balor actually tweeted it himself, but it's also on In the Corner WWE on Twitter. You can see it. But when they showed the replay of the hard cam and you saw that step hit him square in the, oh my god, I was like, oh. And then they didn't really film Finn because I think the doctor was trying to glue it, maybe.
Yeah, they had medical say. I think from what I hear on their reports is they had to give him a numbing agent to stop any infection. Then they have to give him staples because it was busted up. I mean, he had a cut. It just looked nasty. It just shows you how these Hell in a Cell matches, even a regular match, but especially you got a gimmick or a stipulation, and those guys were having to. Not just be physical intense, but they were having to swing for the fences with kendo sticks, steel chairs. Finn was going through tables. It had all the carnage you wanted and what we were expecting. BenNy, I'll let you take it away, and I'll kind of piggyback off your statements. What were your impressions, man, of this kind of match?
Because the problem with Hell in a Cell matches, everybody wants everybody to go to the top and jump off. They want a Mankind Undertaker. It's not going to happen. Not very rare. Shane McMahon, obviously, he couldn't jump in a ring. Apparently, we'll get into that in a little bit. But unfortunately, he's hurt himself on that. But
I shouldn't have laughed. Yeah,
but I'm only joking. But for the type of rivalry this has been, everything that happened after WrestleMania, the formation of, I love the promo package before the match. It's one of the best promo packages, if not the best promo package of the weekend, telling that story.
It was great. Oh my goodness!
Telling that story for anybody that may have not seen it in the package. It did obviously Extreme Rules. We had Beth and the chairs and the concerto. Edge being excommunicated from Judgment Day. Just the whole story is really good. It's just a shame that Edge I know he had to be away for a certain amount of time for it to mean something, but we could have had a bit more Edge, I suppose. But, overall, I love the story. I absolutely love the fact we had a Hell in a Cell. It wasn't at a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell, and by all accounts, this has finished that rivalry between those two men. And that's what Hell in a Cell is meant to do. Or a cage match, but you know what I mean. It's not a high flyer. It's not a throw off the top, Mankind or anything like that, or Shawn Michaels, whatever. But I think for the modern day, it's one of the best Hell in a Cell matches in probably the last 5 years, easily, if not longer.
I love the story of Edge and Finn Balor and the way they narrated this. It was Russell Crowe, by the way. I probably mentioned that. And why not have these actors do it? You're in Hollywood; they can afford it. Being WWE, and it's all a story. I mean, as much as we love the action and the movesets in the ring, I mean that's also part of it. They're conveying, what this means to them through the moves via whatever they're capable or going to do. Because it's very complex. I like the intricacies. I mean, because it wasn't just that they hit you with a kendo stick. When you're watching as a kid, that's all you're taking away from it. But when you start growing up and actually trying to study or at least do your research, the homework, in other words, you start understanding it's more than that. He's going for that leg because that could be what he could take him out with a finisher. I mean, it's stuff like that really helps you be engaged and focused in on wrestling, sports entertainment. And you're right, BenNy. These guys, I know some people are going to pick it apart, but I must say the way they were warriors in there, it was this, we forget Gothic Edge. It was Brute Edge. I love the entrances too. The production. I know a friend that was there. He was saying, man, to experience a WrestleMania type production was just top notch. And it's true. And to have the video package, these guys just giving it their all and more, actually, I mean, the part where it's not just the kendo sticks, but for Finn Balor to do that drop kick, I think where Edge, I don't know if he missed or what. It's hard to recall, even though it's just been this weekend, and I could have told you then. It was just so much, but I like how they didn't. It wasn't sloppy. It wasn't messy because a lot of these gimmicky matches tend to be, but when they're done correctly and the story is present, it can be a. I hate to say beautiful thing because what happened to Finn, I mean, it's you can't really say it's beautiful, but it was just a hellacious. There we go. Where's JR? We need him. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
It's just, I said in the last 5 years, I'm not. It's definitely in the top two. You got to put Cody and Seth in there as well because considering all the muscle tear and everything like that was happening at the time. But yeah, it's definitely up there. Does it beat? If it depends how you look at it. Depends if you can be one of these people that rates it in a certain way. If you take Cody and Seth's story by itself, it's probably better, and then vice versa. Yes, you've got the story with Edge, but you've also got the brutality of the weapons, the ladders, the chairs. So even though they are two Hell in a Cell matches, they are very different and both bloody good in their own way. Is probably the best way I can say it. But I enjoyed it actually more than I thought I was going to. So, because again, there's a lot of hype around a Hell in a Cell match, isn't there? Because of the bar's was set very high in the early days of this match type. So, but I'm also glad it wasn't that glowing red cage as well. I'm glad it looked more like the original one.
Yeah, we didn't need. Speaking of Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, and Seth Rollins, yeah, we didn't need that anymore. Thank God it wasn't. We didn't get the red beaming light. Everybody's kind of afraid and paranoid that, that's not going to go away. I think hopefully it has, and we didn't see that. That's a plus. I didn't even have that in my peripheral vision, and thank God for it. But yeah, the Demon Finn Balor is always a nice touch. If you're going to have Hell in a Cell, a big WrestleMania moment, they still said it's Finn Balor, but it's his demon persona. I mean, it all fit, and with Edge, embracing his darker side once again, going back to the promos, even mentioning the biblical book of Psalms and putting it in such a way that, I mean, that was what was, I hate to keep overusing this word interesting. I'm trying to find a synonym because I always feel like I overuse these words, but it's apropos. I mean, these guys were just, you're right. As far as the modern era, at least, it's probably one of the better Hell in a Cell matches.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's hard. It's hard because everybody goes to the Undertaker Kane or Undertaker Shawn Michaels, where Kane, no, Undertaker Mankind. Yeah, Kane did show up at Hell in a Cell. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, he made his debut. Yes.
Yeah, I guess, but it was Mankind. That's what I was thinking, that big bump off the cage. But there's been so many. It depends on the people's perception, what they think or feels the best. I think they've all done good. I mean, and it's also indicative of the era, too. I think that was important, what you said.
Yeah, it was good. And if you haven't seen it for some reason, I think the build-up, the entrances, the promo, the entrances, the match itself, the things that happened, they're just really good. So,
they are.
We got to talk about it now, haven't we? We got to get there. This is not quite the main event. We got one more match. We got this match, and we will talk about the main event. But Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus for the slapping chest Intercontinental Championship match. It was. I enjoyed this again. I'm not going to lie. Could you, throwing Drew McIntyre and having him in there? I'm not going to lie. I think I said Gunther to win. I think you did as well. But there was a part of me that wanted Sheamus to win this, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I've always rated Sheamus. I've always enjoyed his work. That guy has literally done everything. King of the Ring, US Championship, World Heavyweight Championship, WWE Championship, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble winner. He's done everything he possibly can in that company except win the Intercontinental Championship. So I'm not going to lie. Even though I said Gunther, I think I was kind of hoping Sheamus would do it at WrestleMania, but this actually sets up nicely. Gunther does win, but there's a moment in that match where Sheamus looks like he's about to win, and Drew pulls Sheamus off Gunther. So I think going forward, we are definitely going to see. I think we're going to see more of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Before we move on to you, Tyler, quickly. One thing I did read, apparently Drew McIntyre is in contract negotiations with WWE, and at the moment they haven't come to an agreement. So I'm hoping for Sheamus and Drew going forward. Again, whether that contract stuff's true, I don't know. We're going to have to dive into that next week on the show. But, I mean, what did you think of this match?
It's my favorite match. I mean, I know I put Charlotte and Rhea up there, and then we talked about the men's showcase, and I know the main event, both main events were fantastic. But as far as I think the wrestling aspect of sports entertainment, WWE's always themed themselves sports entertainment. I mean, we've all understood it.
Yeah.
But as far as pure wrestling, I don't know what it is in the water over in Europe, the UK, whether it's Austria, Germany, but these guys just, I want to see them wrestle all the time. This is one of the rare occasions where I'm sure I would get tired of it. But the way these guys, you talked about whether it's the chopping, the power bomb by Gunther, the Drew hitting the finisher, whether going for the Claymore kick or it's Sheamus with the Brogue kick, and it's where he clubs you on the chest. It's just, I mean, we could talk about the moves, but the psychology, the story, these guys just. I mean, they know what they're doing. These guys just, and for Gunther not to have worked with Drew, he's worked with Sheamus, but for these guys just to put it together, I'm sure they've spent time on it. I'm taking nothing away from them because that's why they are the professionals. But Gunther is an in-ring general, but so is Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in this circumstance. I mean, it just shows you these guys were meant to be in a triple threat match. At first I was saying, well, why can't we just get Sheamus and Gunther? But then I felt bad we couldn't get McIntyre a WrestleMania moment. Well, they just didn't make a WrestleMania moment. They made a WrestleMania highlight reel. This could easily be like contender of the match candidate. I mean, I'm serious. These guys gave me instant chills. Speaking of coming out, the entrances, I mean, Gunther, the old school homage to, my goodness, to the Imperium, the older music. Then it goes back into the music he's got now, and with Eichner and what's the other one? Fabian? No, wait a minute. Fabian Eichner is the guy. Who's
Ludwig Kaiser.
Gosh, I'm Yeah, Kaiser, I'm drawing a blank. Thank you. My goodness, I'm glad I made the tag. I don't know why
Hot
I
tag,
couldn't
hot
think
tag.
about the introductions and Gunther kicking, and you talked about the chopping. I wrote, even when I had to help review this, that I think Gunther chopped Sheamus back to Dublin. I mean, I think that's where Sheamus is from. And, the champ locking in the Boston Crab. I mean, everything was so crisp and tight. Michael Cole was great. He was being a fan himself on commentary. He said, I know this sounds sick, but I'm enjoying this.
It was a good match. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Night 2. And again, both nights had main events that were main event worthy, and they were great matches. But if you were to pick another match on that, I mean, to be fair, I would say night 2. I would say, Bianca Belair versus Asuka was good, but the top 3 are Edge, Finn, and I tell you what, it's a toss-up between what's number 1 is, whether it's Roman, Cody, or whether it's the triple threat for the IC title. But those 3 matches, I think, were the matches that drew me to night 2, definitely. So I understand where you're coming from. Great match. There's, Gunther this year was in the Rumble from number 1 or number 2. He started the match anyway, and he went pretty much the entire way. I think, was he number 1, actually? So he went. No, it was
I think he was 1.
Yeah.
And what was the time they said it? And I keep forgetting, but it was like over an hour because
Yeah.
it was him and Cody.
Yeah, and
that
then
were the last.
Is this, was that foreshadowing for next year? Is this Gunther's year? Is he going to be a contender for Roman? At some point, you got to think, if Roman is still the champion, Gunther's got to go. I think we need to see Roman versus Gunther. That needs to happen at some point.
We do. And maybe that's why we've still got Roman Reigns as champion. Think
quite
about
possibly,
it. I mean,
quite possibly.
I don't know. That's speculation, of course. But you brought up a fantastic analogy. What if we're going to get the Gunther Roman Reigns matchup? I would be for it. Think about how Roman's going to have to try to combat those chops.
Yeah.
He's going to need help. As much as I like the Tribal Chief, as tough as he is, and he is, Gunther is just equally as tough, if not more. Because he's just built different. This guy, he has proven himself. To get that pop off a chop, and I don't want to, say something just off one single move. It's the way the guy's movement is in the ring. He's fluid. Not only does he respect the man, he lives that gimmick. That's him being more the pro wrestler than the sports entertainer.
Also, Imperium versus the Bloodline. Now, what the Bloodline looks like in 3 months' time, I have no idea. We have Roman telling Paul Heyman to send the Usos away. Paul Heyman tells them that they're outside talking. They're not. They're in the dressing room on Raw. And basically, Roman's told Paul Heyman to tell the Usos to go away. But Paul Heyman doesn't say that to them. He puts it nicely. So are we going to have a callback to Jay saying, we watch the show as well on TV? So, because Roman asked, are they gone? We don't want them or whatever. So that's playing into everything else. But what I'm getting at is that if you do have the Bloodline still in somewhat, you've got Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci, I think his name is now. It used to be Fabian Eichner, didn't it?
That's why I was getting so confused.
Yeah, mate, every time.
Name changes, they get me all shooken up. So thank God I had BenNny.
Yeah,
I was like, what's his name? I know I could have said it tomorrow, but it's like it's not coming to me. I don't know.
But Gunther walks out with the title. Doesn't make me mad. The way they did the triple threat, as I said at the top of it when we started talking about it, was I feel like going forward, we're definitely going to have a Drew versus Sheamus sort of rivalry going forward, possibly at Backlash. I don't know. We'll find out on SmackDown, I assume. But yeah, what a great match.
Will reveal a lot. Yeah, and my bad, I didn't mean to talk over you. I was just agreeing. It'll reveal a lot on SmackDown. Yeah, that was. It's really hard to put into words just how good that match was. It was really that good. If people want to watch a great wrestling match, we would recommend that one. Go back and review
definitely.
the triple threat.
If you've not, for some reason you're listening to the show and you're not watching the current product, and for some reason you didn't watch WrestleMania, and I don't know how that would happen, but if you are, definitely give WrestleMania 39, the night 2 Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. It was a great match, and to be honest, there's at least 3 matches on that card, maybe 4, depending on your view, that are really good, and we'll move on to the main event in a second. Just got to quickly mention Miz. We did have Pat McAfee, night 1, come out. The response wasn't massive. I'm not going to say. It didn't seem like it anyway for Pat McAfee, but it was cool to see Pat back. I would actually like to have seen Pat back on commentary, personally.
Oh, it was. I would too, because he adds. There's just an energy he brings.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. 100%. I can't wait for him to be back on commentary, assuming that is going to be allegedly that's what he's going to do. But we'll just see how that pans out, I guess. He has an impromptu match against Pat McAfee, The Miz. He does lose. Next night, Shane McMahon comes out, and we haven't seen him for a while. There was a lot of talk about him
we have.
Last year. The Rumble apparently booked it and didn't book it correctly, or tried to book himself. Again, Webosphere stuff, Tyler. I have no idea what's true and what isn't.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know that that's fact either. I mean, we're only hearing a lot of different information, so who knows?
Yeah, of course. It was cool to see him back, but unfortunately, doing the international and does the leapfrog over Miz, lands, tries to get back up and can't. I believe he's torn a quad, I think, I read.
Yeah, Triple H, I think, had said that's how come the reports seem factual, because Triple H actually said, when he did the leapfrog, you could tell something was wrong. I thought at first, well, maybe he just did it for Snoop Dogg to jump in, but no, it looked too awkward. It looked like he actually did enter himself, and sure enough, he did. I was actually happy to see Shane O'Mac. I didn't mean to laugh like I was glad he was hurt.
No,
I was just like, I guess something caught me funny. I just want to make sure I clarify that if people go back and listen, because there was a point where I kind of laughed, and I didn't mean it.
It's all tongue in cheek. It's all tongue in cheek. Don't worry about it.
It was all tongue in cheek. I just want people to know that, because I actually appreciate Shane O'Mac. I know people don't always agree with him. I hated it because, I like Pat McAfee coming out, doing something with The Miz, and then George Kittle from the 49ers, and, Snoop Dogg, and to see Shane not have that moment. I mean, he had the moment, but then it got ruined because you never know, injuries happen.
Of course,
I felt bad, but to see Snoop Dogg jump in was pretty comical. That they didn't know what to call his version of the people's elbow, whether it was the doggy elbow, and then Corey told Michael, maybe we need to come up and think of a better name. That was funny, and so there was this. The Miz is so talented. I mean, for him most people would casually think, well, this guy's getting buried, but that's not the case. He's just so good at this role as being the guy that you want to see get beat up, and why not? They said there was going to be some surprises, and we got McAfee, we got Shane O'Mac. And, hey, why not have the Miz be that guy? He's just hosting anyways. He don't really have a match, but that's the point. They're impromptu. They're kind of just thrown together. So I thought it was entertaining.
We read something online, and basically I think the referee, I can't remember what her name, Jessica, I think her name is, yelled at Snoop saying people's elbow. So whether that was planned after the match anyway, I'm not sure. But, I mean, fair play to, yes, he had to be kind of like nudged and say, can you do this? But, then apparently Miz did yell, pin me. But fair play to Snoop for going with it and just going with the flow, and just, I know it wasn't the prettiest people's elbow in history. No, but here's a question for you, Tyler. Was that people's elbow worse than the stunner that Vince McMahon took last year at WrestleMania?
Oh my gosh, that's up there. Both of them could have probably been a tie. I gotta admit, it's probably as not as smooth as Snoop Dogg's elbow was. Vince, he's taken a lot better, but boy, that one last year was rough. I mean, even Stone Cold was laughing. He couldn't help it. You try to take this stuff serious, but once he saw how Vince took it, he's like, "Oh my word, it's been a long time."
Definitely. Yeah.
We had been. This ain't the Attitude Era anymore, or the Ruthless Aggression Era. This is definitely some years. But I would have to. The word goes to Mr. McMahon.
Okay, so the Snoop Doggy Dog people's elbow, whatever you want to call it, is slightly better than the mishap crappy stunner
which is not saying much.
Of course not. No.
We love Snoop Dogg, but come on. I mean, of course, he's not going to be The Rock. Jessica Carr is a great official. That's who I think was in the ring.
Yes, that's it. Yes, yeah. I should have pressed this, but there you go.
Stone Cold. But we can still do it, even if it's delayed. It works. It's like when Shawn Michaels is on the computer for NXT, and they're like, hey, this ain't AOL anymore. It's even technology's updated. Have you seen it where Triple H and them are trying to, type something in, and they're kind of making fun of their age. They're getting older.
Oh, right.
It's
no,
a different time.
I probably did see it, but I don't remember it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look back at that.
I know that was random, but leave it to me, man. Leave it to me.
Main event then, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. We kind of already talked about it a bit, to be honest, but I don't think there's much more we can say about it, but it leads nicely into Raw. I mean, the match was good at WrestleMania, wasn't it? Unfortunately, Usos and, it was cool to see Sammy and KO get involved, although KO did drop a stunner on Roman before he got out the ring, which was cool, and I think the buzz around everybody, I thought Cody was going to do it, until that Samoan spike from Solo. So one of the better, it's a main event. Everybody was waiting for it. I think when the bell rang, I think the crowd cheered as well. So
as much as people were, love the IC title match, I will say this was what the shows were built on. As much as I love the women matches, taking nothing away from any match on the card, because to be at WrestleMania, that's huge and monumental. But this is what everybody was looking forward to, was the Cody Rhodes. Could he finish the story? We've always heard the prodigal son is returned home. And, you've got Roman Reigns. You got this guy that has just been so dominant. Is Cody Rhodes going to be that guy? And a lot of people had that hope. But it just goes to show you he doesn't have to finish the story right then. I know I touched on it because Triple H, a lot of it, what you read, he said. And that they were, there was still a lot there. And, it was evident. This match told a wonderful story. You saw Cody greet his wife. Brandy was in the front row. It was -1, who was Brady Lee's son. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
He's still close with the family, and knowing there's still the widow's still involved with AEW. I think that's what's wonderful about the wrestling community. Instead of bashing one or the other, that's what's neat to see Cody kind of bridge that divide, and stuff. And like a lot of them, not just referencing Rhodes here, but every time it looked like, Rhodes was going to hit a big move, or that moment where, he's going to win it, this is his time, Roman would get his shoulder up, or like you said, you would have the Usos interfere solo. Even with Zayn and Owens, you thought, this is definitely going to help him. And then he would kick out of there, or the referee had to take the bump, or Heyman would get up on the apron. There was always something. But it was just, they told it so wonderfully. Now, was it any better than the IC title match? Not necessarily, but they're two different matches. And you got to realize they're two different stories. Now, the story's bigger just because, with all due respect, because of being the main event and the titles, these titles on the line, no offense. But, we've touched on it. There's not much really to add to it other than just little points here and there. It was just I like how Roman always looks like he knows he may lose the titles. I think that's another point of it, where it looked like he sold it because the facials and everything. That's why we always look at their body language, how he's talking trash, then how he looks more humbled at the moment. And even Heyman's expressions are always terrific because he sells it too, and that's what any good manager should do, or wise man. Shout out to Cy Powell, or wise man. I can't help it. He's going to go, why you guys keep mentioning it? Because you are, man. We're complimenting you. But no, that's true. So anything you want to add, BenNy, being the host, out of respect? Speaking of acknowledging somebody, that's who I need to be acknowledging.
No. To be honest, you've done really well there, mate. We already touched upon it. Obviously, the thing I'll link it into quickly before we end is on Raw. Cody wanted a rematch. Then in there, didn't happen. Then poor Heyman. He said, "Well, we're here, so let's have a tag team match, basically Solo and Roman versus Cody." But then Paul put the thing is, whoever you team with, if you lose, they don't get a title shot against Roman ever. Until until Roman's not the champion. Brock Lesnar came out. Now, Brock lost that right at SummerSlam, so it doesn't affect Brock. Fast forward to the end of the night, they're teaming, they do the entrances and everything. Brock's in there, then Brock F5s Cody, and for the next, 10 minutes, proceeds to beat down Cody Rhodes. And it's like, why? There's no explanation why. At the moment, we probably won't get that till either, I'm assuming, it might get mentioned on SmackDown, but in terms of an actual answer, we probably won't see Brock until Raw, I assume. Again, brand split. confuses us. Is this the title? This is the theme of this episode. But
there's a brand split.
Apparently so. So it looks like we may have Brock and Cody going forward. Now, I proffered a suggestion that maybe Cody doesn't win the title at Mania. Like I said, he doesn't necessarily have to. He still did something that somebody in his family's never done, and that's main event at WrestleMania. So yeah, maybe Cody goes on and wins Money in the Bank. Maybe that is the case. Unfortunately, ladies and gents, as we were coming up to the end of the show here, we lost contact with Tyler. But we want to thank you very much for listening to the show. You can follow the show at In the Corner WWE on Twitter, and hopefully we'll have technical difficulties aside. Tyler will be back next week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed WrestleMania. I want to thank you very much for listening. It's a shame we can't hear from Tyler to say goodbye at the end of the show, but we very much appreciate it, and we'll see you all again this time next week here on SJP Raw Media. Thank you very much.